One of the highest-rated custom car shows on cable television didn't get canceled because it ran out of audience. It ended because the company that owned it ran out of a reason to keep it. Bitchin Rides ran for 11 seasons and over 150 episodes on MotorTrend Network, turning a Salt Lake City custom shop into one of the most recognized names in automotive television. Dave Kindig didn't just build cars on screen. He built a fan base that watched in countries where the show aired under a different name entirely. And when it ended, he had almost nothing to do with the decision. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly what happened to Bitchin Rides, and why the real story behind its cancellation is actually bigger than the show itself. The shop before the cameras. Dave Kindig didn't start Kindig-It Design for television. He started it because he could build cars better than almost anyone else in the country. The shop opened in Salt Lake City, Utah, and from the beginning the work was high-end, precision-focused, and completely uncompromising. Kindig built his reputation the slow way, one car at a time, each one a showcase of metal fabrication and custom design that turned heads at shows like SEMA and Barrett-Jackson, the kind of builds that other fabricators in the industry stopped to study. That reputation is what eventually got the attention of the Velocity channel, which later rebranded as MotorTrend Network. Producers didn't have to manufacture drama for a pitch. The shop itself was compelling enough. Real clients, real money on the line, real craftsmanship done under real pressure. The show format practically wrote itself. Bitchin Rides premiered and found its audience fast. Dave's personality was the opposite of what reality TV usually manufactured. Calm, precise, focused on the work. Viewers responded to that authenticity the same way they respond to it everywhere. The show didn't need staged arguments or manufactured breakdowns. The cars were the stakes, and the stakes were always high enough. And if you think the rise was impressive, stay with me, because what came after it is the part nobody expected. 11 seasons and a network in flux. By the time Bitchin Rides reached its later seasons, the show had built something rare in automotive television, a genuine global audience. Over 150 episodes, top ratings in its demographic, an international reach that most niche cable shows never come close to. None of that was enough to protect it from what happened in 2022. That year, the media landscape went through one of its biggest structural shifts in years. Discovery merged with Warner Media to form Warner Bros. Discovery, a combined entity that immediately began evaluating every property across every network it now owned. MotorTrend Network, which had been home to Bitchin Rides, landed in the middle of that consolidation. The math on these mergers is rarely about individual shows. It's about portfolios, overhead, streaming platforms, licensing costs, and which properties justify continued production investment. A show can be performing well and still become expendable when the entity behind it is reorganizing at the corporate level. Bitchin Rides was performing. The network above it was in motion. Season 11 became the last season. The cameras stopped rolling not because viewers stopped watching, but because the business that owned the cameras changed shape. What happened next is the reason this story spread across the automotive community. The investor incident. Before the network merger ended the show, Kindig-It Design had already been through something more personal. According to reporting on the situation, Dave and Charity Kindig were at one point physically escorted off their own property during a dispute with a hostile investor. The specifics of the arrangement that led to that moment have never been fully detailed publicly, but the image of a man who built his own shop from the ground up being walked off his own premises by someone with financial leverage is the kind of thing that leaves a mark. It's also the kind of thing that sharpens a person's focus on what they actually control. The details of the broader legal and business pressures surrounding Kindig-It Design during this period remain largely private. What's clear is that Dave Kindig came through it, retained control of his shop, and kept building. The investor dispute didn't end Kindig-It Design. The network merger didn't end it either. Dave Kindig is still in Salt Lake City. The shop is still running. The cars are still getting built. Here's what the comments kept asking, and here's the answer they never got, until now. The move to YouTube. When the MotorTrend cameras stopped rolling, Dave Kindig didn't wait for someone to offer him a new deal. He launched his own channel. Kindig-It Design Official went live on YouTube and started doing exactly what Bitchin Rides had done on television, documenting the real work of the shop, build by build. The difference is that this time, no network owns the footage. No corporate restructuring can pull it. No merger changes who controls the upload button. The audience that followed him from television found him, and he kept building for them the same way he always had, without manufactured conflict, without staged drama, without anything other than the actual work. The CF1 program is one of the clearest examples of what Kindig-It design looks like when it operates entirely on its own terms. The CF1 is a limited-run custom roadster, a carbon fiber body, a custom chassis, built to a standard that has no ceiling because there's no network budget capping what's possible. One CF1 sold at Barrett-Jackson's 2023 Scottsdale auction for $72,000. That number tells you everything about where the shop sits in the custom car world. This is not a television shop that got canceled. This is a world-class fabrication operation that happened to have a television show for 11 seasons. What Dave Kindig did next. In November 2024, Dave Kindig walked into SEMA and won the Riddler Award. The Riddler is the most prestigious award in custom car culture. The competition is global. The standard is absolute. You don't win it by building cars for television. You win it by building cars that are better than everything else in the room. Kindig's entry, a custom Corvette build called 12 Air, took the award. That moment matters in the context of this story, because it happened after Bitchin Rides ended, after the investor dispute, after the network merger, after all of it. The show ending didn't slow Dave Kindig down. It removed the one constraint that television always places on creative work, the need to make the process legible and entertaining for an audience who doesn't necessarily understand what they're watching. On YouTube, in his own shop, building for clients who come to him specifically, Dave Kindig answers to nobody but the car. Where things stand. Kindig-It design is operating in 2026, active, building, and posting. The YouTube channel is growing. The CF1 program continues. The shop that Bitchin Rides introduced to a global audience is producing work that outlasts any television deal. Bitchin Rides ended because a media merger made it expendable. The shop it was built around proved the opposite. Here's what I want to know. Do you think Dave Kindig is better off without the network? Or did losing Bitchin Rides cost the custom car world something it hasn't gotten back? Drop your answer below, because this community is genuinely split on it.